Welcome to Megan Viecelli Unscripted. We have a very special guest on the podcast WLNS Plus show today. Everybody, welcome Darien Harris. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So I wanted to talk to you because most people familiar with Michigan State and just the greater Lansing area, East Lansing in general, know who you are. Played football for Michigan State, you know, when you guys won the Rose Bowl. And was that 2014?
Yep, 2014 Rose Bowl, yeah.
And you've
Over
worked
10 years ago. It was crazy.
I know. I can't believe it. I was thinking that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've stayed in the area. You've worked with Michigan State athletics since then. So just kind of talk to me about coming to Michigan State in the first place. I still can't believe that was so long ago.
Yeah, I know. It's been about 15 years now, actually exactly. You know, I came here in 2011. So this is going into year 15 of East Lansing essentially being home base. That'll change in a little bit. I know we'll get into that in a few minutes here. But, yeah, I mean, coming from the East Coast, coming from the Washington, D.C. area, you know, I always say Michigan State came and got me. You know, I was, you know, someone who obviously had aspirations of playing big-time football at the collegiate level, at the Division I level, and went through the recruiting process. But once I took visits to Michigan State, I was like, this is home. This is by far and away the place that I need to be and feel like I'm destined to be. And I couldn't have made a better decision. So, yeah, definitely blessed and thankful that, you know, had that offer 16 years ago and decided to come to Michigan State. And, yeah, the rest has kind of been history.
That was Mark D'Antonio at the time, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, I didn't go to state.
That's all right. We
went
forgive
to
you.
the enemy.
We forgive you.
But I do remember kind of going through your time there and the Rose Bowl especially. I was excited. I think I was crying tears of joy when you guys won the Rose Bowl, and I'm not the biggest Michigan State fan, obviously. But, I mean, that was just such an exciting time for the program. And even now, how many years later, when I hear Rich Homie-Quan, I think of you guys winning the Rose Bowl.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it was a special time. You know, that's what Coach D'Antonio calls it, special time at a special place with special people. And you know, for that to be the 100th Rose Bowl, the following year was the you know, culmination of the playoff system. So essentially, that was kind of like the last Rose Bowl of the modern era, so to speak, that actually was like the Rose Bowl, where you're going to get your Pac-12 champ, your Big Ten champ, and they're going to clash, you know, for that title. And so, you know, during my tenure playing at Michigan State, that's all we heard about was win the Big Ten and then win the Rose Bowl. And going into that year, all the seniors from that year, you know, the Max Bullers of the world, obviously back now at Michigan State, the Darqueze Denards of the world, the Benny Fowlers, all those guys were continuously talking about for us to go out and our legacy to be cemented, we have to win the Rose Bowl. So then we started talking about, you know, P4RB, prepare for the Rose Bowl, and our whole focus and drive that year was do everything that it takes to get to Cali, get to LA, and finish the job, and we were able to do that.
That's so awesome. That's so exciting. And that wasn't it for you with Michigan State. I know you came back. What were you doing kind of in between after you graduated? Because that was your senior year, right?
Yep. That was my sophomore year. So 2 years after that.
Okay.
So, you know, obviously finished out the last couple years. You know, junior year won the Cotton Bowl. Senior year went to the playoffs after winning the Big Ten.
I thought you were a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't realize that was your sophomore year.
Yeah.
You can tell I did a lot of background. I was like, we know each other. It's fine. Okay. So you still played, and then after graduation.
Yeah. So went on to play professionally. So had a quick stint with the Cincinnati Bengals. Spent a couple years in the CFL. And then was ready to transition on to the next phase of life. So came back to Michigan State for grad school. Went to the Eli Burrow College of Business, did my master's in marketing and research, and was a graduate assistant in academics during that time. And then, kind of turned my focus to what the next iteration of my career was going to be post-playing. I knew I still wanted to be in athletics. And fortunately, about 10 months after finishing grad school, I had opportunity to come back to Michigan State full-time.
What does it mean to you to be able to continue pursuing your education? Because I know for a lot of people, a lot of young men, it seems like, okay, I'm going to play football or any sport really, football, basketball, hockey. I'm going to play it in college. I'm going to play it professional. And then there's just kind of no plan after that. So what does it mean to you that you got to do both and then go back?
I mean, I just credit my family, my parents, my younger brother, who's the smarter version of me, like my grandparents, like everybody in my family is really academically focused, and so football is great. Playing sports is great. Obviously, that was a main focus and priority for myself. But I actually like school. I like learning, and I wanted to take advantage of all opportunities that were out there. And that's kind of what was the first step, the foundation for the work that I've gotten into post playing in player engagement is. I feel like there's just so many opportunities out there that athletes miss and that they don't know how to take advantage of. And so for me, I wanted to put myself in a position, one, to further my education so that, when football was done, when playing was done, I was done playing at 25, and that's the
Right.
average. I played 3 years professionally and you're done. And I heard it actually last week. Went to the league office and got to meet with Troy Vincent. And so many times people talk about the NFL as standing for not for long. It's really notice for life is what he calls it. You're on notice for life. People will know you for life no matter how long you play it. So how do you take advantage of that notice? I wanted to take advantage of it academically through my education and then being able to now support the next generation of athletes. And so again, I mean, I love Michigan State. I knew that I can get a great education here. My undergrad education in the School of Communication Arts and Sciences was phenomenal. That's why I'm on the alumni board now for ComArts.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then transitioning on to of course going to grad school. Took that marketing focus and our marketing research program here at Michigan State is #1 in the world. So I wanted to take that on as well. And it's just taking advantage of the opportunities at the end of the day.
It seems like you are really good at that. And I like how you said that a lot of times people don't know about them, whether they're students or student athletes. I feel like there are so many opportunities at Michigan State, especially. How are you kind of trying to work with the younger generation to make sure that others are able to take advantage of it? Do you do a lot of that with the board or?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that can, that happens at any school at the end of the day. It's just taking advantage of the network that's there. And so, here at Michigan State, again, having transitioned on now to obviously work in NFL with the Giants, the work I'm still able to do at Michigan State is through the ComArts Alumni Board. So I'm the chair of the Student Athlete Engagement Committee, and a lot of the work that we do there is figuring out how do you take the current students and put them in position to take advantage of our robust network, especially from ComArts. There's 55,000 current alums of the School of Communication Arts and Sciences here. There's a lot of people that are willing to help. It's the largest college on campus. We do a lot of great work through the school from a community standpoint. We do experiential trips. I was able to host a class of about 15 out with the Giants when they came out to New York.
Oh, cool.
Like there's a lot of opportunities out there. It's just fostering those relationships. And so that's really what it comes down to, being intentional and helping students build a network. And I'm passionate about students, whether you are an athlete or whether you are going to school to pursue a different path.
Good for you. I like that because I know, the athletes stick together. And so to
For
be
sure.
able to work with kind of both sides of it is awesome. Talk to me about your role with the Giants now, because this is your first season
it's
with
first
them.
year.
This is new.
Yeah, it is.
Well, how did this happen? Talk to me about that.
I'd always told, my network and kind of my mentors that I wanted to pursue player engagement at the highest level. And for me, that's the NFL.
Yeah.
And an opportunity arose this past summer for me to join the New York Giants. And so it's been an absolute blast. It's been a dream come true for me. I feel like we were a new player engagement staff coming in this May. And going through this first season, we got a lot of experience when it comes through just what the NFL is from the other side. Obviously, myself having played in it, our VP of Player Engagement, Usama Young's played 8 years in the league, won a Super Bowl with the Saints, worked 8 years at the league office. So we've seen it from the playing side.
Right.
And even Usama's seen it from the league side. I've seen it from the collegiate side, but what does it look like from the club side? So we gone through coaching changes, right? We went through quarterback changes. We went through being on top of the sports world when you beat the Philadelphia Eagles, with a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back, and you got Jackson and Scat, and they're two of the 5 highest search athletes in the country. Then we hit a losing spell, losing games in ways I've never seen happen in the history of football. Yeah. And so we've feel like we've lived a lot of those experiences in this first season. And so now we're just looking forward to the next regime, obviously under Coach Harbaugh and what that's going to look like. But our work is continuing to support the players, on the professional level, and make sure that they have everything they need to be successful on and off the field. That's always going to be the focus of player engagement. And again, it's a dream come true for me to be working with these athletes that are the best at what they do.
So how are you helping them be the best both on and off the field? Like, what does that entail? What does a day in the
Yeah.
job entail?
For sure. Yeah, it's a great question. So, our focus is on personal professional development, continued education, and then specifically financial literacy and education, as well as family support. So, underneath player engagement, you have the programming side, which is rookie programming. So, when they come in the summer, meeting with them every day, bringing in presenters, speakers. Some of the programming is required by the league. Others is kind of dealer's choice, club choice for us. To make sure that they are ready to be pros. So, really focusing on a model that teaches them how to be a pro now that they're transitioning from college. We also have programming in place for our veterans. So that could be, extended financial literacy education. We've done fatherhood roundtables. We've done education just, again, on life skills, leadership, those types of things. And then it's the family aspect. How do you support the family? So we have a third person on our team, Presley Money, who came from directly from Arizona, ran track there. We hired her basically fresh off the stage, graduation stage.
Oh, wow.
She does a great job in facilitating our family programming and support. So, we have a term with the Giants GSOs, Giant Significant Others, instead of WAGs,
Oh,
kind of
okay.
retired
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Felt like GSOs just more encompass, that family aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So running events for them, whether it's the kickoff luncheon, we do a rookie family symposium, bringing the rookie families in to make sure that they
Nice.
kind of understand the organization and understand the city. We take them around New York City because obviously it's a little big change for some folks that may not be familiar with just what New York City entails.
Yeah.
And then just programming throughout the season. That could be shopping experiences. It could be family-friendly programming at local amusement parks and things of that nature. And then just, again, day-to-day support. Everything from tickets, pregame passes, helping with parking to, we had a lot of babies born this year, for example, which was fantastic. But it's not a regular job. So there's no paternity leave. Babies born on Tuesday, you got to be at practice Wednesday.
Right.
So how do we help support that? We did grocery deliveries. I'm in the city at Whole Foods, getting groceries, delivering it straight to the house. I remember one of our players, the baby, everybody's happy, healthy, but baby came a couple weeks early. So, mother-in-law wasn't in town yet, like everything they had in place.
Oh, yeah.
So he was like, shoot, man, I didn't get a push present. So what do I do?
Oh.
I was like, you go to practice, I'll go to Chanel. I got it. So I'm in 8 Chanels in the city trying to get this bag, and it was able to figure it out, buy it, get the groceries, go deliver it at the house, and like things like that ease the mind so that then he can perform on Sunday. So it's a lot of like forward-facing things when you think of the program, but it's a lot of behind-the-scene things as well, like situations like that.
I'm going to be honest, I had no idea that this was a thing in the NFL. I had no idea. It just seemed like they say it takes a village.
Yeah.
And when you think about how intense the schedule would have to be, and for a lot of people away from home, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? You
Yep.
have your home during the season,
Yep.
but then you probably have another home kind of like you
For
right
sure.
now. Like
Yeah, literally.
you've been going back and forth all the
Yep.
time. And so it's just all of these things that I didn't realize you would need. I can't imagine going to a new city.
Yeah.
I've never left the state of Michigan.
For
I've lived
sure.
here forever. I can't imagine going somewhere and not knowing anyone and just graduating from college and then being like, hey, here's $1 million. You want to play on our team?
Yeah, and that's literally
What?
how it is, because in college, I mean, for the most part, it's kind of your choice. Obviously, if you're, looking to play at this level, depending on how many offers you have and things of that nature, your selection may be a couple schools, it may be 40, but it's essentially your choice. When you're going to play professionally, the team picks you.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really have a choice of where you're going.
At all.
And for the rookies, it's like, yeah, you're going to land in a new city and, we're going to make sure that you have everything you need to be successful and start your career. And that's one side of it. But then as you mentioned, if you're coming off of your first 4 years, 5 years, and you sign a free agent contract, you could be coming with a wife, 2 kids, whatever it is, and you get put in this city. All right, what does that look like for me?
Right.
Where
Where are the kids going to go to school?
Exactly.
Where are we?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we essentially facilitate all of that with finding the information on, like you said, school systems, realtors, relocation, daycares, nanny services, obviously working with our athletic training group for pediatric care, hospital system, like getting you dentistry, like getting you set up with all those things in a new city. It's essentially a full service concierge service. So, if you were to take a new job in a new city, you'd have to figure those things out on your own. We want to make sure we provide that level of support and those resources. So we take as much thinking off the plate as possible so they can just hit the ground running and go.
No, that's amazing. Right when you said that, my primary care physician is in Cadillac, Michigan, up north from my first job at 9 and 10 News. I haven't changed. I drive up there once a year, and I've had how many jobs since then? And I couldn't do it.
For sure.
So
for
thank
sure.
goodness
For sure.
for you guys, for these guys. We're going to take a really quick break, and then we'll come back and kind of talk more about that. All right, welcome back to Megan Viecelli Unscripted. I've got Darien Harris in the house. We're talking football, we're talking jobs, we're talking player engagement. Now, you being with the New York Giants, obviously we were kind of just talking about a lot of back and forth, but I am so interested that you came from the East Coast, came to Michigan State to go to school, to play football. You live here. You live in mid-Michigan. You graduated. You made this your home. Talk to me about that a little bit. What kept you here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a special place. It's a special town. And I tell everybody that isn't familiar with this area just how special of a place it is. And it's funny because we actually have a few of us on staff that have Michigan State ties. Our VP of Medical Services, Ronnie Barnes, he's been that for 40 plus years with the Giants. Absolute legend. He did his grad school at Michigan State, and we talk Spartans all the time. And people walk by there, go, those Spartans again, here they go. It's all we talk about. But I don't see anybody else in there that went to the same school that has those conversations. It's just a different place. When I went to train for Pro Day and all of those things, like talking to the players from other schools that went to other schools, they didn't have relationships with athletes from other sports. I was friends with athletes from every other sport. I mean, I have best friends that played, women's basketball, volleyball, basketball, field hockey. I mean, you name it, because of our Smith Center, our academic center, which is like a home hub for us as student athletes. And so what I've just found is that, I know it's cliche to say, but it's Michigan State just different. It's different in terms of that community feel. And yeah, for me, I mean, again, I wanted to be where my network was, and I was able to build, and relationships here. Obviously started a family here, and my daughter was born at Sparrow. I met my wife here. We obviously own a business here now on campus. Like it just became home for us. And so you see that, I think, pretty frequently with folks that are employed at Michigan State that also went to Michigan State, folks in athletics that were graduated from Michigan State. It's a very, very family-centric place. And again, that can be cliche sometimes, but I think it actually holds some weight here.
Well, yeah, because when people stick around, you know what I mean? Of course it does. And I think that's so cool that it just seems like such a family in a small community that you would want to raise your family here and start your family here. I would love to live on the pod at some point, definitely. Because talk to me about that now. You just opened this Pilates studio. Was it last winter?
Yeah, last June. Yeah, last June. Yeah,
okay.
So going on 7 months.
And then you go to the Giants.
That wasn't in the plans.
Back and forth.
Yeah, the studio was the plan.
Yeah.
Not getting a job with Giants was the plan. But that's just how things happen sometimes.
Yeah.
But my wife, who was she was captain of the cheer team here, and just has always had an affinity for fitness. When she got pregnant, just like most women, your body changes, and you have to find a way to kind of snap back, bounce back, get back in rhythm. And Pilates was her way to get back in rhythm. There wasn't a studio here in town in East Lansing, so she came to me last, I guess June of 24. And was like, what if we opened our own studio? And I was like, you're out of your mind. But it only took a day, and I was like, all right, let's explore it. Let's do it. Wow. Tapped into our network here, and then we just went. That was the plan. I was working at Michigan State in athletics. Obviously, we're going to open the studio, like best of both worlds. Let's rock and roll. So we're building that out, getting close to grand opening, and then this role with the Giants comes.
Hey,
exactly.
It's the New York Giants.
Yeah. And kind of the way we looked at it is the NFL is going to call once and not going to call twice. And so,
Yeah.
the further conversations were like, all right, how do we do this at the same time? But it was like, we're just going to do it. We're going to figure it out. We're going to do it. It's going to be the hardest thing we've ever had to do, but we're going to figure it out and do it. And so we opened, June 1 of 25. It's been a fast and furious first 7 months. It's blown out, out of proportion, out of our wildest expectations of what we thought it was going to be, which is great. And then obviously, like you said, going back and forth from New Jersey, New York to here. What our daughter has had to endure, but how she's handling it has been absolutely stellar for a 4-year-old to understand, what that looks like. And we look at it as like, hey, we're not the only family that has to do some level of distance. And it's just temporary. It's not going to be forever. But you make it work at the end of the day. You make it work. We have a phenomenal village around us that supports us. And this community, again, how they've kind of gravitated towards the Pilates studio has been, it's been incredible. And it only continues to grow, and we only want to continue to grow it. It's not something that we're gonna get rid of just with this transition with the Giants. It's something that we're going to continue to grow because we know what it means to the community now. We've seen that, and we want to continue to see it thrive.
You're a good team. It seems like. I don't know Liv very well, but it seems like the two of you have always been a really solid, good team. And like, if anyone could do it, it's you guys.
Yeah, you have to. I think that's important, to support your partner's dreams.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then good things will happen. You don't make it a competition of who's getting what. It's kind of like everybody can get everything. And if you put family first, obviously we put our daughter before anything.
Of course.
And we know that the opportunities that she's getting with both of these opportunities that we have is kind of second to none. She gets to travel. She gets to experience this phenomenal city in New York City. She gets to experience obviously the NFL. She gets to experience, watching her mom be this powerful business owner. Like, she gets to see all of these things, which she may not understand it all now, but over time she'll get it for sure.
No, she will. That's incredible. I know. I'm like, whew, that's so sweet. Now, do you think she'll go to Michigan State?
I don't know. That's a great question. She's
she
definitely
have to?
not that she just can't go to the other school. That's the only rule. She can't go there.
Unless she wants to be a doctor. That's what you told me.
That's true.
Because that's what I was supposed to do.
True. That's a little
And
different.
here we
That's
are.
a little different. I don't know. The world is just changing so much, when it comes to education, especially college education. And so, in 14 years, we'll see. We'll see what it looks like.
Crazy.
We'll see what it looks like for her and what she wants to pursue. It's for every day the interests change, in terms of what, we think she might pursue.
Yeah.
But we just want to expose her to everything. So she's in ice skating now. She's in dance. She's in gymnastics.
Good.
She goes to a phenomenal, school right now. Like, she's building up that friend group. She's really crafty. She's into art. She's into music.
Wow.
I got her an electric, padded drum set yesterday that she's having fun with. Like, you just want to expose your kids to as much as possible.
Yeah.
She's athletic, but does she take to sports? I don't know. We'll see. It might happen. It might not. She did soccer this past fall. She's done a little bit of basketball.
Wow.
We're probably going to try track. She likes to run. It's like just expose them to everything.
And then they can pick.
And then they can pick.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you're going to take her to every college campus except that one in Ann Arbor.
1,000%.
What about the one in Columbus? We're not going there either.
Probably not going there. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
If Michigan's off limits,
that one
the other one has
too.
to be off limits too. Come on. Now, what do you do other than sleep when you're not doing all of these things, when you're not at the Pilates studio, when you're not in New York or New Jersey, or what are you doing?
For sure. Yeah, I think you have to have that level of balance. Obviously, again, with having a 4-year-old, it's chasing her around, you know. So, we're doing a lot of activities with her, making sure that, again, she's experiencing different things. And that's pretty much life, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's football, it's Pilates, and it's 4-year-old, crafts.
Right.
That's about it right now.
Doesn't get much better
but
than that.
It really doesn't. Like what else, would it be at the end of the day? That's how we look at it. It's like, what else would you be doing right now other than those things? And it just so happens that, we're blessed to be able to be working within our passions. And so I think because of that, it makes work. It's still work. It's still hard. It's still challenging. There's still difficult days. There's still hard times. But you can push through with living out your passions. And so, we like to, we like to be, we like to grind it out. We like to work hard. We don't like to waste a lot of time. And so, yeah, there's hobbies and things like that we wish that maybe we had some time to do, but it's not really time for that right now. We
Right.
can rest later on. Like right now, it's work time.
We're building.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know, like when you're going back and forth between here and Jersey and New York, do you listen to podcast? I mean, obviously,
podcaster. Yeah,
you'll
for sure.
Well, you actually have to do this on a smart TV. You can't do it on like Spotify or anything.
Yeah, listen to audio
But
podcasts for sure.
books?
So that books definitely.
Okay.
I think that you still want to train the mind up. Music.
Yeah.
I fit in there as well. Try to get it all in. I think again the beauty of being in New York is there's never not anything to do.
Right.
So even if it's like traversing the city,
Mhm.
we're going to a show, or we're
Wow.
going to downtown and just walking around, being in Soho, like. It's not like somewhere where there's nothing to do, So when
Yeah.
the fam when we're in
plenty
New
to
York,
do.
like we're in the city all the time,
Mhm.
And again, experiences like my daughter's been to see Aladdin already on Broadway.
Oh,
She's been
wow.
to see the Rockettes. Like
Wow.
there's experiences that not everybody gets a chance to take
Mhm.
advantage of that I get a chance to have my daughter take advantage of. I had my mom in for 24 hours this past week. We went to
Oh,
Harry
good.
Potter on Broadway. We went shopping. We went eat to different eateries. Like that's what I see as experiences. And
Yeah.
we're kind of shifting our focus even with our daughter from, you want toys, you want experiences.
Right.
Like let's put our resources to experiences
Mhm.
more so than like just fleeting things that you're gonna get tired of in a couple days.
Right. Or a couple minutes,
Exactly.
depending on.
Yep,
Yeah.
literally.
I love that. No, this is all great. What about, do you do you have like a trashy TV show that you watch or something?
I
or
mean, I'm an anime watcher, so I guess I
Okay.
could call it that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
like a guilty pleasure?
yeah,
I
oh,
guess
yeah, for
trashy is
sure,
probably.
for
I watch
sure.
like Housewives
yeah.
and Bachelor.
I mean,
so.
I'm into like all things anime and
Okay.
superhero. But any show that's like prominent, I'm gonna watch. So I
Yeah.
find time to do that. I'm big into thrillers, so like
Okay.
just finished His and Hers on Netflix. Watched All Her Fault and Peacock recently. I got a list of movies I gotta watch. I gotta watch The Rip with Affleck and Damon, and
Oh my goodness.
like I'm in all those things. I go to the movies. That's my time away. It's like I go to the movie theater. I love going to the
Okay.
movie theater.
Do you go by
So,
yourself?
all the time? Yeah, favorite thing to do.
I
Yeah.
love
It's
that
the
people
best.
do that.
Oh, it's the best.
I
It's the best.
love it.
Yeah, it's the best.
I've gone in and bought popcorn and left,
Yeah,
but
I-
didn't stay for
Oh,
a
you
movie.
got to stay for the movie. You got to stay for the movie.
Yeah. That I'm gonna put it on my list of
You have
things
to.
to do this year.
It's a great thing to do.
Okay, and that's just your chill
Just my
time.
thing. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
That's incredible. We are running out of time already. I think we could probably talk all day, but I just want to say thank you for being here
course.
and
I
congratulations
appreciate it.
to
Thanks for
you
having
and your
me on.
family.
Absolutely.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.